Hey guys, and welcome back to another 8-Bit Debaters. This week we're doing something slightly different once again, but we're still back with the debating, and we're going one-on-one, mano a mano, old school style of just fighting it out between the two of us. However, because we have no judge, we're not going to decide who's going to win, you are. So we're going to sort of fight, argue amongst ourselves, and just going to end the debate as an open-ended question, so you figure it out. This week we're going to go through the icebreaker of the guilty pleasure, and then we're going into the mass debate, well, the mini debate this time, of the best game to play with a team. So let's head into the icebreaker.
The icebreaker.
So as I said, we're going through what game is your guilty pleasure. We all have one, we all like to hide it, but this week we're going to bear all, and I'm joined by Jordi. Thank you for being my sole companion today.
I just moved my mic closer. I just realised it's all the way on the other side of the desk. Hello.
Hello. What is your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is Minecraft. And
That's a great one.
Yeah, like Minecraft with mods. And I realised like late last year that just how good Minecraft is, that you can keep going back to it year after year, and it's still really enjoyable and it's still really fun.
Yeah, because they keep releasing mod packs for sort of like, I think, Sky Factory and Galacticraft, like two really, really big worlds that you can actually properly get into. Yeah, yeah, it's one of those games where if you start looking for stuff to do, it's an unending game, and the main game is like it's pretty addicting as well. I mean, I definitely count that as one of my guilty pleasures as well. I do love a bit of Minecraft. Sit down, go into some mines, build a house, even go into creative and make a wonderful world. It's actually a fun game when you sit down with it.
Yeah.
Mine is more a guilty pleasure because of just sort of the not the backlash, but the reputation it's already got, and it's COD. I do love to play a lot of COD, Call of Duty, all of them. Ghosts, Infinite Warfare, World War II at the moment, and I am looking forward to Black Ops 4. It actually looks kind of fun, and that is my guilty pleasure. I enjoy playing it quite a lot. It's one I play with my brothers quite a bit, and I do sometimes sit down and play online and just get absolutely dominated, but I don't care. I have fun. Yeah. So it's for all of us, that's kind of our guilty pleasures. I mean, I'm sure you'll let us know yours down below, because now it's going to be, we're trying to get a bigger conversation because we're lonely here. And so we'll very quickly move on to the mass debate.
The mass debate.
So yeah, the mass/mini debate this week will be what game is best played with a team. And this is like a game that you think is improved by playing it with 2 or more players. A team can be 2 people. So I think it's quite a nice open question that you can put your answers down to, and we can have a nice little fight about. Jordi, give me your pitch. We still have a pitch here.
Have you said what the topic is for the mass debate?
Yes, the best game to play with a team.
Oh, yes. I chose Left 4 Dead 2. Because if you get Left 4 Dead 2, it comes with Left 4 Dead 1 on PC, so it's
Smart
fine.
Move.
But yeah, this game is just really good, and it's Valve, and it's back when Valve were making really good games. They're not making any games now, unfortunately, though that could change soon.
Hopefully.
But yeah, Left 4 Dead 2... It was actually the first Valve game I bought, and it was brilliant. It was great to play with friends. It's got the classic split screen, so you can play with people. It's a couch co-op game. It's brilliant survival, and it's fun to get annoyed at your friends and shout at them, and you'll be almost at the end of the game. And then your friend will be like, oh no, I'm dead, way back at the beginning of the map. So you have to run all the way back. And it's brilliant. And it's still, yeah, it's just brilliant. And you got all the different types of zombies. You got the ghouls and the witches, which are horrible, and the tanks and the jockeys and the smokers and the slimers. And it's just a really fun game. And then you get all the mods, and it just becomes a whole new game all over again. It's brilliant.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2 is a great choice of a game. I do like playing it. Mine, I'll have to go for Rainbow Six Siege. Right. It's a game that still is one of my favourite to play, and I think I started off playing it on my own, sort of single player, just doing all the terrorist hunts and multiplayers. And then I started playing it with a team. I started playing it with Rob and Paddy, I think, are my main two guys who actually are willing to stick up with me in a team. And it just becomes such a better game when you have communication going on, because it is a very tactical game that you have to play. That it's not just, I mean, you can play the option of run and gun, and then having someone abuse you for running and gunning in your ear as you're doing it just makes it all the better, because you're dying laughing whilst you know you've screwed your team over and they're over the other side getting slaughtered. But like when you add in the tactics and you're all communicating with each other, you've got your corners covered, you're trying to breach in at the same time, you actually get better at the game. So playing as a team in Rainbow Six Siege not only makes it a lot more fun, I have so much fun just laughing hysterically at the things I'm doing, but you also play the game a lot better, and that as a fact makes you feel better, because when you're doing well, you just tend to be happier instead of miserable and losing all the time, which I know a lot from other games like FIFA and Rainbow Six Siege, and it's not my day. Yeah. So many games that just I suck at and is brutal towards me. And then also when you're dead and you're out the contest, it's not just a sit back and you kind of like you twiddle your thumbs and you wait. You can watch your teammate scramble around and abuse them for anything they've done, distract them or call out where things are, what's happening, and just try and help them. So it's dead or alive, whether you want to play your own game or work as a team. Rainbow Six Siege in a group is so much fun. If you can get an entire team worth, I think what, five operators or six? I think 5 or 6. I can't remember. Even though I've played it so many times, if you get the more players you have in a team, the better you do in a sense, because you can now control your entire team, and you can watch. If you're playing against another team, you can tell the group that's communicating with each other, because they will just rush in and you are slaughtered within seconds, because they've got shields hitting you at the front and then they flank around the sides, take you from everywhere, everything's exploding, it's chaos. It's brilliant fun, and it makes the game a bazillion times better. So those are our two pictures. We've put out the 2 games that we think are the best, and now we're just going to have a general argument between us about trying to attack each other's games, defend our own, and then we'll call it a day at some point when I feel we've chatted enough about it, and then we'll leave it up to you to decide who wins. Try and do it based on the arguments, based on what games you prefer, what your ideas are, as our judge would do. Or if you're me, would be judging, pick a random game, flip a coin, it's easy. So let's fight. The floor is now open, Jordi. We can attack. It's what is 1-on-1. It's now more dangerous. It's now more personal. I mean,
yeah, you can go first, I guess. I'll try and think of something.
I'll let you write down your argument. Left 4 Dead, yeah, it's a good game, and it does require a lot of sort of cooperation, but you are almost led down a path. So playing with a team, it just makes it easier in a sense. It doesn't make it a better game, it just makes it a bit easier where you can actually start playing, and then playing with your friends can actually become an annoyance instead of trying to rush to an area. Like someone will go off and go miles away, get hit by a smoker, wake up the witch, or just get bullied by a tank just sort of charging into them, and you're on the other side dealing with the horde that they've left you to deal with, and you're like, no, why have you done this? I hate you. So it's more likely to make you just an angrier person, and someone who's just spiteful of your friends because they have abused you. They have taken your favorite weapons. They have led you into an absolute slaughter. They have woken the witch, which you've been carefully trying to avoid for the entire game. So I mean, it's a good game, and it is entertaining to play with your friends. But I think having friends makes the game easier instead of fun. So it's kind of it's more of a you play as a team to complete it instead of you play as a team because it makes it such a better game.
Right, but I would argue against that with Left 4 Dead. You can play with your friends and you can talk to them, and it's brilliant. But you can, if you have this other guy in the lobby that doesn't have a mic on and doesn't talk to you and goes off and does his own stuff, if he dies, that's fine. Because then when you get a chance to revive him, you can mess around, and it's brilliant. And there's not a lot of danger because you're dealing with a lot of AI zombies. But in Rainbow Six Siege, when you're going up against more players, another team of sentient people, most
of them aren't sentient.
It would get quite annoying if there's just a bunch of guys in your team that don't have their mics on because they don't want to speak to people, or they just can't afford mics.
Yeah, that's why it's better to play as a team, to play with a team instead of like having a load of randoms in amongst your group. It's kind of,
but surely
it's annoying.
Being in these siege teams, you have to be very strategized and strategic. That's the word. You have to be very strategic. But if you can't do that, then surely that means that if you just run into the house, you'll die instantly.
Well, I mean, like, there have been a few games where you have played, like I've played with people, like uncommunicating people, and it does work because you follow people. You kind of, without saying, make like a little pact at the beginning. You split off, and they will, in their own ways, give you hints if they want you to do something. If they want you to open up a wall, they'll kind of like hit it a few times, that you know what's going on, and then you can mark up like positions and players for your teammates, so you can then, without having to talk to someone, tell someone, right, go over here, watch out for this point, there is someone over here, or follow me around this area. So you see, there are ways to communicate without having to be in a team. I mean, it makes it so much, like, to be in a communicating team, it's so much better to play in a communicating team. But in terms of if they aren't communicating, then it's essentially just like it is still a lot of fun, like when your team, because you can still play with each other, communicate, and then someone will open up a breaching point, and then that becomes your focal point, and then you may see that they're trying to go in that way, so you run around to attack the position from another angle, giving like your ally a chance to sort of take some fire away from them, expose someone else, hit someone who's focusing on them. And I mean, when we say like best game to play with the team, we are talking about like a communicating team, so sort of like your friends as a team. So instead of just you play as a team, because I mean that's most games. When we say best game to play with a team, it's with a communicating team with your friends. Probably should have made that clearer from the outset, but like that's the whole gist of it.
Right. But in Rainbow Six Siege, can you play as the cast of SpongeBob while killing a bunch of rampant hordes of Teletubbies?
I mean, you can sound like the cast of SpongeBob whilst killing a load of people who are trying to arm a bomb, which makes it even better.
But can they be Teletubbies?
If they want to, they can be anyone you want. You can play with Dipsy, Lala, Poe, or whatever.
Can you make custom maps for Rainbow Six Siege?
You cannot at the moment, but they constantly add new ones. I mean, no, not constantly, but they add new ones fairly often. I mean, a new set is meant to come out, so you never get too bored. And with Siege, like, there's not an issue with making maps, because the better you know the map, the better you play, the better the game actually is, the more enjoyable it is, because then because you need to know the lay of the land, where things are, where cameras are, where the bomb is most likely to be placed, where there are hiding spots where you can breach from, where they're going to breach from. So it allows you to like set up everything. The first time you go into a map, you are running around going, what is this? Where am I? Where am I? You walk down several corridors and you've lost your entire team, and you're alone and stranded with possibly enemy everywhere. So, I mean, one of the maps don't really kind of have anything to do with the question, and two, in Siege, if you know the better you know the map, the better the game is. Right.
How many are there microtransactions in Rainbow Six Siege?
The only microtransactions are you can buy the in-game currency Renown, which is like Ubisoft's. I think it crosses quite a lot of Ubisoft's different games, but that's like their currency. You can purchase it to unlock operators like really quickly, but you also, in the game, you earn the currency. Right. And like the Siege, our operators are really well balanced, that you don't need, like, there's not one that is superior to the others. They just have different abilities, so you unlock the one you think you prefer to play with. And yeah, it's a bit annoying to get them, because you want to try out a new operator, but you have to spend hours, like hundreds of hours, trying to get the right amount of currency. And the only other microtransactions are purely cosmetics. So right. it's not like you have to pay to play, or the game becomes better if you play. It's just you have more choice if you pay, and that again is your choice, and it doesn't ruin the game or stop it at all. But I think I'll go back to attacking Left 4 Dead, because I mean it's you have the AI anyway coming into your team. Like it's yeah, because it's always a group of 4, regardless of if it's
Yeah.
AI or like a person. And so I mean, sometimes it's more beneficial to play with the AI because then I think they tend to focus on you. So sort of if they're carrying med packs and things, they'll tend to come up and heal you instead of another AI. So that's what I mean, I don't know if that's actually a mechanic in the game, but that's why every time I've played it with 3 other AI, even though they're close to death and I'm just a touch bit injured, I'll start being healed by like coach or someone and be like, "What are you doing? Save yourself!" And then they'll just be like, "No." So sometimes it's more beneficial to play with the AI because then they try and keep you alive and will distract zombies whilst you kind of perform your own little routine and destroy everything.
But they don't always do everything like you want. Like if you want to do something fun, they won't do it. They'll just sort of just stand around, and they're not.
But they're predictable.
You just end up killing them.
Yeah,
because you hate them.
they're predictable. You're sort of like, well, they're going to go off and do this. They're going to end up in the middle of a horde, and so when they gather a horde around them, I'm just going to throw sort of a pipe bomb in there. Kabloom! Like that's the area cleared, and they'll come back when I reach the safe room.
However, with the AI playing, the AI are playing lovable characters such as Coach and Ellis and the other ones, Bill. Yeah, and those people are great. They're brilliant characters that have memorable quotes like "grab and puke" and "there's bile over here."
Yeah, but I mean, you'll still get those characters and those quotes regardless if they're being played by a person or an AI character.
Yeah, so it's
I
just
mean,
a very good game.
So it's a good game, but I mean, to play with a team, you can play it on your own and still get that same experience as if you're playing with a team.
Can you play with AI in Rainbow Six
Yes,
Siege?
you can. You can't play like the multiplayer aspect. You can only play sort of terror. Or I mean, you can play Terrorist Hunt, which does have a rescue the hostage mode, a classic Terrorist Hunt, which is a kill all the terrorists in the area.
Right.
You have a plant a bomb and defend 2 bombs, like to defuse them, and a defend the hostage. Oh no, defend the room. Just I think. Or the bomb. I can't remember what it is, but there's 1 defend mode and 3 kind of assault modes which you play against in Terrorist Hunt, and you can play on your own or with other people. And when you're on your own, you are on your own. There is no AI supporting you. It is just you. So like Rainbow Six Siege is essentially unplayable without a team. I mean, you can play it, but I mean, it's a bit dull.
But I think with Rainbow Six Siege, you have to be focused on the game, and you have to be...
Yeah.
You don't have to be very good at the game, but you have to like think about it and be very strategic, and that's why it's better with friends. But with Left 4 Dead, you can just have fun with friends and just have fun by yourself, run around with a katana, which
you
could
can have fun in Siege.
Look like a lightsaber, killing Teletubbies or whatever you want. Yeah,
I mean,
it's brilliant.
You can have so much fun in Rainbow Six Siege just by sort of messing around with your mates, playing around, and playing whatever way you want. I mean, yeah, you can get sort of serious in between all the jokes and all the laughter and all the messing around. You can go, right, there's someone in this corner, someone in this corner. You go around here. I'll breach from this. Like, can you use your special here so I can get in, etc., etc. So you can blend it with the two. I mean, I have great fun. I'm in hysterics because I like to play as Twitch, and I go around in the little Twitch drone and zap the opposition and their devices and just run away giggling, and it is the funnest fun time I've ever had, just annoying an enemy to death. So yeah, you can play really seriously tactically, and you can just mess around with your mates in either way, and both are fun, really. Both work. I think I'll give you any final points you want to throw at me or bolster up your Left 4 Dead.
The 4 in Left 4 Dead is a 4, which makes it so much cooler. I hope it gets a sequel, because yeah, I'd rather have a Left 4 Dead 3 than a Portal 3 or Half-Life 3. Hot take.
Well, that's Jordi's closing statement. I mean, I think I've said everything that there is need to say for me for Rainbow Six Siege. So we've given our arguments. We've had a little more discussion than argument. We've kind of tried to attack a little bit of each other whilst bolstering our own points. So it's down to you. Who do you think won? Do you think Rainbow Six Siege is the best game to play with a team, or do you think Left 4 Dead 2 is the best game to play with a team? Let us know down in the comments, and obviously put down your suggestions as well. We love to hear them. And we will see you next week. Bye. If you don't know who we are Twisted Bar Gaming. You've just watched the 8-Bit Debaters podcast. You can find that on YouTube and all podcast providers. I think Spotify and iTunes are two of the main ones, or whatever you usually use. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Twisted Bar Gaming, where we have a load of other gaming content. We have our One Life review series, our One Life minis, and we have our features, which are very varied and enjoyable. We also have streams on Thursdays and Saturdays, so do come check them out. And if you enjoy them, like, share, subscribe, the whole shebang. And we love you. Bye.